Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Friday, July 14th. Welcome to the second half of the MLB season, and we need it. And my job is to deliver you some MLB winners. We're back, and it has been a definite struggle over these past couple of weeks. But I got picks today. We're going to go over the model. We're going to find some home run bets to make. We got a prize picks entry. We got the whole nine. And we got about 5 different people coming on to give out picks. Seems like a lot of people are a little bit scared. To make picks. First day back from the break. A lot of sketchy lines out there. We're going to run you through it all. And of course, it's not gambling advice. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Friday. Again, remember, we are brought to you by the Pikkit Sports App. Producer Cohen is going to drop the link in chat. Remember, if you're new, download Pikkit, use code Peter when you sync your sportsbook, and you'll be entered into a raffle to win anywhere between $3 to $100. All picks are brought to you by BetMGM, king of sportsbooks. Code Just Baseball on that too for all those great bonus bets. Same thing for prize picks. Ladies and gentlemen, the first half of the MLB season will be remembered as the low point in my career betting publicly, right? After the All-Star break last season, imagine if we were doing stream and be like, hey, what's going on, people? We had Jackson Holiday plus 1,100. We hit the All-Star break, went up a bunch of units. Not this time. It's been a tough go for your boy. But we have a lot of ground to make up, right? Because we were up 20-ish units, and then we ended the year up 44. If we can have the same type of year in the second half, we can still finish strong. Maybe now is the time to buy stock. Producer Cohen, if you could flash the leaderboard for the people. I just want to show everybody where he's at. We got a champion in Javon who hasn't been on a bunch. He normally just comes on when he absolutely loves a play. Lucky for him. DeGen has been killing it. Ben's been killing it. Ollie 1 unit. Most underrated guy on stream, I think. And then we have Jake, myself, Gino, and we got a couple people in the red, including Krabs. It's down 32 units. It's not ideal. It's not ideal to be down double. Our 16th place, which is Colby Olson. Cali Wagers getting his way back up there. It's not been ideal for boys on stream. That's probably why not as many people are here. Alec, thank you for subbing with Prime. Pete, did you ask Krabs to sign your glove at the Derby? I did not bring my glove. I don't really understand what's with these glove deniers. A lot of glove deniers out there. Can't bring a glove to the home run derby? Spare me. All right? So, again, it's going to be a little bit of a short stream today, but I do have my picks, and I am absolutely ready to roll. Without further ado, Producer Cohen, might be just time to get straight into it. Might be time to just get straight into it, and we're going to start in Baltimore with the Miami Marlins taking on the Baltimore Orioles at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Sandy Alcantara versus Dean Kramer. Now, I bet this, I sent it out to my subs at 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, right? So it was way before that. As soon as I saw this line, I was like, yep, give it to me. And we've seen a lot of line movement. So at the end, I'll tell you how to play it at the current line, because right now on BetMGM, just do a little Google search. Let's get on BetMGM. Let's see what the line is currently. Last I saw, we were looking at it 8.5. minus 110 across the board. Now it's minus 115. So we'll talk about that at the end. But let's talk about why I like to pick. So it's a good start to look at overs right now when it gets really hot at Camden Yards. It's a small edge that can help to your overall handicap as the park is going to play towards the hitters when it starts creeping into that 80-degree range. You add in 5 miles per hour of wind blowing out, and you have really excellent hitting conditions. Now, Ballpark Pal made an adjustment. Producer Cohen, I don't know if you could pull up Ballpark Pal for the people. So when I bet this, Ballpark Pal had the park adjusted at about plus 13%. It was about 5.27 for the Orioles to about 4.93 for the Marlins. As you can see, it made a later adjustment, actually moving towards what we want. So as you can see, what the line was currently was 9.5 at minus 102. That has gone up to minus 120, or excuse me, minus 129. So we've seen a 27-point adjustment based on the model. They must have seen better wind coming in, or the lineups were better suited for these pitchers. So that's just something. Thrasher for subbing. How was All-Star Weekend? I had a blast, ladies and gentlemen. I had a blast. It is hot outside, I can confirm. So normally it's going to play better towards the hitters. But again, that's just the weather. It might make you lean towards the over, but we got to look at the starting pitchers. So Sandy's first half was one of the year's most shocking storylines. I'm kind of like Sandy. I was the unanimous National League Cy Young Award winner last year, and now I have a 4.35 expected ERA. I'm kind of like Sandy. Great last year. Decent pitcher this year. He went from the unanimous Cy Young Award winner in 2022 to one of the Marlins' worst arms. His strikeout rate has dipped below 20%, lowest since 2019. His walk rate has jumped to 6.9%, the highest since 2020. His hard hit rate, now over 40%, highest since his rookie season. Much of it concerns the changeup, which has gone from one of the best in baseball to one of the worst. Now, the Orioles have a top 10 offense this season against right-handed pitching. They sit ninth in WRC plus at 106 over the entire season and 108 since June began. Now, the Orioles, they're a solid bunch against both sinkers and changeups, and Sandy's going to see 6 to 7 hitters in the lineup today with positive run values against both pitches, right? He's also been weaker against lefties. And what did we see the Orioles lineup they just put out? He's going to see Cedric Mullins. He's going to see Adley Rutschman. He's going to see Anthony Santander, Ryan O'Hearn, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Hicks, Adam Frazier. 7 lefties out of the 9, right? They're going to stack lefties against his pitch mix. And Sandy has been notoriously worse on the road. And that's not just this year when he struggled, right? He had an ERA below 2 last year at home, ERA above 3 on the road in 2022. This year, ERA at 5.00 on the road. So on the flip side, we have Dean Kramer, who has also not really figured out how to pitch at home this season, rocking a 5.51 ERA. So Kramer allows a lot of hard contact. That's been his biggest issue. 45.1% hard hit rate, which puts him in the 16th percentile. Not a good recipe when playing in a ballpark calling for offense. Now, while Miami has been a league average offense in June against righties, about a 100 WRC plus, they do one thing well, really well: hit the ball hard. They rank 7th in hard hit rate against righties during that span. Now, the Marlins' WRC plus is lower than expected due to lower walk numbers, which heavily influences WRC plus. They are an aggressive bunch facing a pitcher whose one redeeming quality is his ability to fill up the strike zone. The Marlins have the 5th lowest walk rate facing a pitcher in the 84th percentile of walk rate, right? So if we look at the matchup, Dean Kramer throws the ball in the zone a lot, right? So against teams that are really patient, he can actually have a lot of success. Against teams that are super aggressive, like the Marlins are, who hit the ball hard, that's a bad matchup for him. And considering his xERA is 5.64, I think that's going to kick in today. Now, the Orioles, they must be really upset with how their top arms were used in the All-Star game. Both Yenier Cano and Felix Bautista threw 24 pitches or above. Felix threw 28. So they didn't really get their normal break like they're used to. They should be fine, but that's not going to help, right? I also wouldn't be surprised if the Orioles just give them the off day today because everybody else in their bullpen is rested and everybody else in their bullpen does not stack up like Cano or Bautista. Now, the Marlins bullpen has been solid for the most part, but they aren't really a group that scares me against an Orioles offense that has proven they can hit really any arm in baseball. They also have plenty of right-handers off the bench, like Ryan Mountcastle is back. They can sub in to face guys like Tanner Scott, AJ Puck. Those guys we're probably going to see for the Marlins at the tail end of the game. So I kind of lean towards the Marlins as the winner here. So hopefully we see 9 innings of hitting. That'd be great if the Marlins are ahead going into the bottom of the 9th. But the thing is, I wouldn't bet the Marlins unless they were plus 130. So I don't see any value on the money line. But the model, like I said, when I wrote this article up earlier, it was at 9 at minus 102. Now it's at 9.5 at minus 129, right? So big adjustment. So earlier I said, if it's at 8.5, I don't know if I'd play it. I mean, I'm playing it at 8. I love it at 8, right? If it was still at 8 and we got that adjustment, I might put more on it. So 8.5, totally playable at minus 115. Probably would just stick to the 1.15 units. That's what it's on now. If it ends up landing at 8, just continued piss. I mean, I would push, you would lose. Not ideal. But with that adjustment, I feel safe saying, yeah, 8.5 is totally fine, right? Because if that was the adjustment in the morning, right, or last night at Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, if that's what it showed me, I would have bet 8.5 at the same price. So knowing that now, 8.5, I think, is still safe, right? So that's what I'm rolling with. Over 8 runs, 1.15 units to win 1 unit. Oh, just some sub bangs from the boys. Thank you, Jake, for subbing. Sub MF Bang. Would you prefer Orioles team total over 4.5? I don't mind it. I think the Marlins are going to score, though. So I'd rather just take, and also the Orioles are at home. Let's say the Orioles are winning. Let's say I think that hits. So I don't really have anything else to tell you. I would just prefer to add in the Marlins bats here because I think they have a really good matchup against Dean Kramer, right? So that's what I would be rolling with here. I like both teams to score. Bovada at 9. Would you take it there? Like I said, if you guys want to get BetMGM, I'm looking at it right now at 8.5. And if you use code JustBaseball, you get a bunch of bonus bets if it loses. Like, it's one of those match your deposits, and if it loses, they give you it back in bonus bets. I would just grab it on BetMGM, right? We don't want to use just one book. At 9, like, the model is still showing value up to 9.5. So if you can get plus money at 9, I like it. But again, 8 versus 9 is a big adjustment, which is good, right? The line is moving in our direction. So it's kind of up to you. I would, if it was at 9, probably just lower the unit size, just based on a full run adjustment. But model showing value. So if you just want to trust the model and you like the pitch, 9 at plus 105. Yeah, I like the plus 105 line. I don't mind that at all. Maybe just lower the unit size a little bit. No, but I think the worst, I really think it's landing on 9 or more. I took the over. Give me it at 9. Milwaukee Brewers versus Cincinnati Reds is our second game of the day at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Corbin Burnes versus Graham Ashcraft. So I don't want to deal with late game heroics by the Reds. Not even a little bit. So I'm going to isolate this game to the starting pitchers, the reason I like this bet in the first place. So Corbin Burnes, from a results standpoint, has been pretty disappointing. He's been one of baseball's best pitchers over the last 3 seasons, rocking an ERA below 3, right? But this season, strikeout rate down, walk rate up, leading to a 3.94 ERA. However, he's a pitcher that I really want to target in the second half. Why? His cutter is key. It's been one of the best pitches in baseball over the past few seasons, but he saw his velocity dip below 94. Last season, he averaged 95, which is a big difference, especially for a cutter. With a fastball, it's definitely a difference, but with a cutter, huge difference. We're starting to see that velocity return, right? Averaged 94.8 miles an hour on the pitch in his most recent start against the Reds. Now, Burnes, he ranks 4th in baseball in Stuff Plus, a pitch modeling stat that grades each pitch and has been one of the best predictors of future performance, right? We look at Sierra, we look at expected ERA, and we look at Stuff Plus. Corbin Burnes ranks 4th, sitting just behind Shohei Ohtani, Garrett Cole, and Spencer Strider. He's still that guy. And he's been extremely profitable facing the Reds, going 5-1 since 2021. Now, in 2 starts against the Reds this season, 12 1/3 innings, only allowed 6 hits and 3 runs. This season, 5 runs in 12 innings, but just 5 hits. Sorry, Reds last season for those really good stats. But the thing is, the home runs have been his issue in these starts, right? Because he's only allowed 11 hits in 24 innings. But the home runs, one by Joey Votto, one by Jonathan India. Does that make the difference today? It could. But overall, against the Reds' current roster, over 112 plate appearances, opponent batting average at 133, xWOB at 245, xLeg at 240. By far the best stats against a current roster on the board today. Now, Graham Ashcraft is going to line up on the other side against the Brewers, who has issues pitching at home and against NL Central opponents. We noticed it last season, and it is carried over to this year outside of some early starts against the Pirates. So what does Ashcraft do? Well, Ashcraft relies primarily on 2 pitches, his cutter and his slider. Like Burnes, His cutter velocity is down 97.3 last year to 96.1 this year. His cutter velocity, unsimilarly to Burns, is unsimilarly a word, producer going? That's a word. You guys know what I mean. Irressimilarly, his cutter velocity has not returned, sitting at 95.7 miles an hour in his last start against the Nationals. So it was down even from his average this season. Now, you'll tell me, well, Peter, he's turned in back-to-back solid starts. 1 earned run? I think he's back. Is he back, though? FIP in both starts were above 4. Is he better than his 6.26 ERA would tell you? Yes. Not much better. 5.53 expected ERA. Ashcraft allowed 10 earned runs in his lone start against the Brewers this season. Last season, when he was better, right? He was better last year. 11 earned runs and 14 2/3 to give him a 6.75 ERA. Will he get blown up again? Probably not. I assume he makes an adjustment. But I don't see such a large improvement that we would take him over Burns in this spot. So taking the Brewers on the first 5 money line allows for a push, right? If these two teams are tied. But I would not be surprised if the Reds play hero ball at the end and come away with a win. So I'm targeting the reason I like the Brewers in the first place. A tail of Burns, a fade of Ashcraft. Now the model made another little bit of adjustment, right? In the wrong way. The model had the first 5 run line at minus 121. If you go out, no, you got to scroll up there, producer Cohen. Right there. Right? So, producer Cohen's going to share the screen real quick. And right now, we're looking at minus 112 on the run line, right? That's for them to win through the first 5. Not the first 5 money line. That's what they imply the win percentage at, right? So, right now on BetMGM, let's go to the Brewers game because weirdly enough, the full game money line has gone from minus 120 to minus 115, but the first 5 money line has gone from minus 125 to minus 135. Minus 135, as you guys know, I don't like to lay juice, right? So, do I think plus 100 at minus a half might be the play at this point? I think it might, right? You don't got to lay minus 125. It's a unit play. You don't got to lay juice. And basically, if it ends up pushing and you lose, you might have to just tip your cap. It's up to you guys how you want to play that. If I was looking at it currently, knowing the adjustment, I'd probably just swing for the fences. SportsHub.com just subbed at tier 1. Keep on not giving betting advice, Pete and Chad. Atta baby. I sound locked in. I am locked in. I'm extremely locked in. I'm excited for the second half of the MLB season. People forget. Everybody's down on me right now. We'll see. I ain't down on me. I'm ready to rock. I'm absolutely ready to rock. So it's up to you guys how you want to play it, right? The way I made my write-up and the way I broke down the game, if you're like, Peter, I can't trust you. I understand. And you don't want to play it now that on the first 5 months, too much juice, I understand. If you do like it and you're like, you know what? Let's go for glory. Give me plus 100 on the minus a half. I think that might be the way to play it. All right? Or you could just lay minus 135 on the first 5 money line and just ride with me and lay 10 more cents of juice. It's weird, right? First 5 money line went up. Full game money line went down. I really wouldn't be surprised to see like a 4-3 lead after 5, and then the Reds just battle all the way back. Wouldn't be surprised. But I think Burns does enough. I don't even think he gives up 3 runs. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring for Burns. If you like the first 5 under, the only reason I don't mind it, because that's what I was originally looking at. I was like, has Ashcraft found it? I don't know if he finds it against the Brewers. But that would be my one main concern is Ashcraft. So I took the first 5 money line. Because I'm like, well, I only want the first 5 under because of Burns. Give me the first 5 money line on the Brewers, my friends. Give me the first 5 money line on the Brewers. Let's get into our prize picks entry. Why not us, Colin? We got a 3-legger today. Why not us? I'm ready to rock, and I love all of these. So I was trying to decide, because you guys know I really mostly just stick to 2. I was like, which one do I want to play? I'm like, screw it. Give me all of them. Give me all of them. I want all of them because I like all of them. And I wouldn't play them if I didn't like all of them. So let's talk about it. Let's start with Michael Kopech because he's the first one on your screen. So it's the Braves, and he's returning from injury. That's why the line is a touch lower than usual. I really do think, though, the extended break is going to do wonders for Kopech, who lives off velocity. Watch that. Shrek. That was kind of slow. 94. Still got a K. Watch this. Shrek. Okay. So it may not help him with run prevention, right? I ain't telling you to take the White Sox on the money line today. I'm not that crazy. But I kind of do think they have a chance here. Everyone's taking Braves team total. Everyone's taking Braves -1.5. No way the White Sox win, right? No way. But he is at 4.5 strikeouts on BetMGM, right? Implying that he lands on 4, right? Because minus, I think, 150 towards the under. I'm not sure exactly what it is right now. Let's give her a little checker. Let's give her a check. What do we got? White Sox. -135. So when I did it was -150 towards that under. So we got a little bit of steam towards the over. Brewers, Reds, Tyrone Taylor +350 and a home run. Why? Homie has 1 home run all year. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, I like the Brewers today. Why not us? It's pretty suspiciously low odds. But let's get back to it. So Kopech is a 26% strikeout guy. Like he will rack up strikeouts. And he's going into Truist. I don't know if you guys remember. So Anthony DiBundo, who I really respect from Action Network, came on and pitched Joe Ryan over K's against the Braves. Now, that was the day he ended up giving about 9 home runs in an inning. So he didn't end up hitting his strikeouts. But what he did say about Truist Park holds true, right? If you go to Baseball Savant, you go to Park Factors, and you queue up strikeouts, Truist Park is a strikeout park, second highest in Major League Baseball. So, but the problem is that the Braves don't really strike out. They're just amazing, right? You're taking it against the Braves. 4 is just too low. Big potential with pushes, but I think he goes over. And I think I put in an article, I think we get like a classic 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeout game from Kopech. It's too low for a high strikeout guy coming off a lot of rest when I think his velocity will be there. Now, is his command going to be there? We'll see, but 4 strikeouts is worth it for me. Let's go to Graham Ashcraft under 4.5 K. So Ashcraft has a 16.4% strikeout rate this year, placing him in the 11th percentile. He's never been a strikeout pitcher and doesn't deserve lines this high, even though he routinely gets them, right? He's never struck out 5 batters in his career against the Brewers. And he's currently -140 juice towards the under. I just don't expect him to pitch all that well. And his pitching outs line is set at 15.5, right? Based on this math, and he's down to 4. So we got a little bump there towards the under, right? And I love the hook at 4.5 because I thought the line should be set at 3.5 or 4, right? Now we're sitting at a 4. We're sitting at a pretty good bump here. I still think it's safe at 4. I don't think he's going to strike out more than 4. So I know it's been red, but like that's what he normally gets, and he normally goes under because people expect a guy like Graham Ashcraft to strike out more than he does, but he's just not a strikeout guy. I don't see why he would ever be at 4.5. So I took the under at 4.5. So we're looking good there with a little bit of a bump. Here's one that bumped not in my direction. Alec Marsh, more than 4.5 strikeouts. I still like it though. The model shows plenty of value on the Royals today. If you go to Ballpark Pal, you'll see they're plus 159 or something crazy, even though they're like plus 220. So am I going to fade a Glasnow-led Rays team? Nah, I don't know. But what I can do is back Marsh in some format. So Yandy Diaz is on the paternity list, which takes out a hitter with a minuscule 15.8% strikeout rate. This Rays team has the 9th highest strikeout rate against righties since June at 23.9%. You wouldn't expect that. Rays Royals postponed. Is that true? STL0220 subbed with Prime. What a stud. Well, let's check on that. Is it actually postponed? Well, we can't take Alec Marsh anymore. So now it's a 2-legger. We're looking at a 2-legger now. So screw you, Alec Marsh. I kind of want to take him tomorrow, though. If he's pitching again, I want to take him tomorrow. Yeah, let's show us highlights. Look at this guy. That's kind of nasty. Okay. Do you have any changeups queued up? Okay, that's 97. I'm not crazy here. Look at that changeup. I mean, come on. Like, Max Muncy strikes out every single at bat, but like, come on. Alec Marsh, 25 years old, out of Arizona State. Didn't he look kind of nasty? Let me see. Can you guys let me know in chat? Wasn't that kind of nasty? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. Like, there's a reason he's in the bigs with a 7.78 expected ERA. It's because he's got good stuff. He's like one of those guys who's like 5 innings, 5 earned, 5 Ks. It'll just give you the case, right? Who on earth is taking 4.5 strikeouts? Nobody anymore because the game's rained out. But come on. Kind of nasty. Cy Young winner? No. Don't donate, but he's got to be plus at $7 billion. He's got to be plus $7 billion on that one. All right, let's talk dangers. You ready to talk dangers, producer Cohen? All right, so one thing that we have been pretty good at is predicting some home runs. Excuse me. So what we do is we look at this board and we try and figure out who's weird. He's minus 300 for Cy Young. Who's weird? Who is weird? Not a lot of weirdos. I mean, Anthony Volpe's kind of weird. But again, he's in Coors, so I don't put like that much stock into it. You know who's pretty high up here? How about Willy Adames? How about, still value there tomorrow? Absolutely. Tyrone Taylor plus 350 is weird. No doubt about it. John RN. I haven't seen Willy Adames up here in a minute, though, I will say. And the fact that he's third, what's Willy Adames' home run line on BetMGM right now? Is that low? I know he's not like a weird player, but he's also sucked this year. And I've not seen him up on the home run board in a minute. And maybe I'm being biased because I like the Brewers. He's plus 650 to hit a home run. He's plus 650, ladies and gentlemen. Willie has been so bad this year. I agree. I like Bader. Coors is going under. Give me Willy Adames at plus 650. That's my home run pick today. That's my home run pick. He's going to take a 3-run bomb. We got Yelich on base. Maybe Tyrone Taylor. Who's hitting in front of him? What's the Brewers lineup right now? What's the Brewers lineup? Yelich will be on base. Brewers lineup. Yeah, I think it's going to be early walks. I think it's in the first inning. Adames has been on fire lately. Well, we had the All-Star break. Yeah, I mean, he's got a OPS over 1,000 in June or July, excuse me. Mickey Moniak is kind of always up here. Have you noticed that? Mickey Moniak is always up here, and he kind of always goes yard. Jake Hazen has given us the Willy Adames cosign plus 650. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to roll with. Ladies and gentlemen. Shirley Ohtani. Also, don't sleep on those Phillies at the top either. Schwarber and Castellanos. Trey Turner. Maybe he finally hits a home run. No, he's got 10 this year. He just isn't hitting anything else. He's also been a garbage defender. But we got people in queue. But my home run pick is Willy Adames at plus 650. Why not us? Why not us? You can't tell me I've been crap on the home run picks. You can't tell me that. I've been actually nails. All right. We got Lid Lager. Lid Lager coming in. It's been a while. How are you, my friend?
It's been a while. How was Seattle?
It was electric. The only thing is, you know what's great? So I had Julio Rodriguez to win the home run derby.
Square as fuck.
Square as fuck. Hometown kid. I walked into Seattle. So Krabs and I were together. And we're like, we both know Julio ain't winning this thing. I've never seen more Julio Rodriguez jerseys. And I'm like, talking about who's going to win. I'm like, oh, I got a Derby ticket on Julio. Every single person around me was like, me too. And then he hit 41 home runs, and I'm like, and then he hit 41 home runs, and I'm like, wait a minute, this just might be a gift. I'm like, wait, he's now so tired.
Don't forget, I almost thought about betting on Julio too, but then last year he hit another 40 in the first round and gassed himself again. So I'm surprised he hit so many in the first round. I know he was batting first against Alonso, but that's a tough draw.
Was it always Julio next year? Does he learn?
Dude, he's 22, 23? He's not fucking learning. He's going to hit another 50 in the first round.
So it was always Julio in the first round.
Yes, bet him to be the highest home run hitter in the first round. That's
square. Now that's square.
Who the fuck is betting that, Peter?
I don't know.
What percentage of money is on the fucking over or under for that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Julio is square. Like, I don't know. I'm picking a home run derby winner. What the books know?
If there was a square bet to be had, it was Julio at home after getting shafted last year.
But the hometown kid.
I've been
brand.
I know, Larry. Maybe I'll take your name, and then if I'm still balls, I could just blame it on you.
Still balls.
Still balls. I'm still unfortunately balls at the moment, but that's baseball.
Let's flash the leaderboard. I don't think you're as bad.
You don't need to produce the Cohen. Don't feel like you have to. I'm not going to pressure you into that.
Okay. Well, we're down 11 units, but there's always today.
Yeah, there's always yesterday too, but you were scared to bet. Anyways,
there's no games. There was no games.
There was KBO. There was MPB. We could have taken something in the China League. Anyways,
we could have figured something out. Why are the A's not scoring today? What a bet.
I mean, they're just a bad team. If I'm just going to go no baseball analysis whatsoever, I've been doing some research. The A's have scored over 4 runs in the last 15% of every 10 games they play. They're just bad.
Wait, so they score over 4 runs in 1.5 games?
Of every 10 games of the sample size I took, of a 10-game sample size.
Over 20 games, they score over 4 runs 3 times?
Yes. So just if that's, and it's only 4 weeks that's happened, so the sample size is fucking nothing. But if I'm playing value, if I'm playing juice, I'll take it against Kenta Maeda, who's been nails against lefties this season. He's not been pitching well, but he's pitching against he pitches well against lefties, and the A's actually have a lot of lefties in the lineup for some whatever reason. And also behind the Twins have an awful just approach to hitting. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They do have a good pitching staff though, so I'll take them not to score 4 in one of the hardest parks to score in Oakland Coliseum today.
So not Twins -1.5. You're like, I ain't trying to back Twins bats. Just give me a fade of Oakland with a rested bullpen for the Twins. I don't hate it at all. It's just like you take an A's
Twins,
under.
Man.
It's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's the fucking Twins, man. I love Rocco Baldelli, but that guy doesn't know how to manage a bullpen.
You like Rocco Baldelli?
I like him as a person. If I was going to get in a fight, I like him next to me as opposed to being on the other side of him.
That's a good point.
As opposed to, what's the Yankees manager's name again? I forgot.
Aaron Boone.
I'd rather fight him than fight with him. So it gives you some context there.
I think he leads baseball in ejections both last year and this year. He fights for his guys. I wouldn't fight him either.
I'd rather fight him than Rocco Baldelli. I liked Baldelli. I want him on my corner. Anyways,
who do you think you could beat in a fight first? Phil Nevin or Rocco Baldelli?
Phil Nevin. I don't. Phil Nevin. That guy's a fucking douche. That guy knows nothing about baseball. Last year, we played against the Orioles, and his son was making his first goddamn appearance. He let his son get like a walk-off hit against Raisel Iglesias and broke Iglesias' fucking mind for the rest of the season. That dude fucking knows nothing. We're selling Ohtani. Audie Moreno's a goddamn idiot, and the Angels gonna suck for the next 10 years, and we deserve it. LA sucks. Phil Nevin is my answer.
The stadium is decent.
Oh, it's a beautiful stadium. That's the only reason we have attendance. It's in OC. It's one of the highest priced markets in California, which is one of the highest priced markets in
the world.
In the world. So people just fucking go to baseball games because they can, not necessarily because they enjoy being there. But it's just our ownership. Marino is a goddamn idiot. He knows nothing about baseball. He knows nothing about how to associate with his fan base and everything. So we deserve to lose Ohtani. That guy gave us everything. We gave him nothing, but it is what it is.
You're in a good mood today. Let's move on to play number 2.
Well, you brought up Phil Nevin. It's fucking, you got my blood boiling. Fuck that guy.
My fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
So a bad team not scoring runs again, Sharp.
Yeah. So again, this is interesting to me. So again, Luis Castillo, we've touched about it all year this year. His issues are opposite hitting power. So lefties with power. He's had a lot of issues this year with that. Good thing for us, the Tigers only have like 2 guys that have hit more than 5 home runs on the road this year that are left-handed. What's that? In history?
McKinstry?
McKinstry.
Zach
Oh,
McKinstry.
you said to name him. Sorry. McKinstry is one of them. I forgot the other one. It might have been Riley Green because he was coming on lately.
That makes sense.
But it's really just I don't think having Erod on the bump. I'm seeing the Tigers are a pretty popular dog today. I mean, why not? They do have some good pitching arms in the bullpen, and Erod was performing, I mean, amazingly in the first half of the season before he got injured. But I really like Castillo's matchup today. The way he matches up against lefties with his sinker and he throws his four seam inside to them. I don't think the Tigers, they don't have great numbers against that. And then again, Castillo I think has like a 2.37 FIP xFIP against lefties as well. And looking at the lineup, the Tigers are really counting on their lefties to provide power and provide people on the base or to get people on base. And if that's not happening, I don't see how the Tigers score more than 2 runs today. I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I also like a rested Mariners bullpen coming in after him too. So let's say like Castillo gives up 2 and you're sweating your dick off. You could get no more runs scored. I'm not kidding.
I know. Yeah, I thought about that, but then I looked at it because there's talks of Gilbert being traded, which is really odd. With the control. I don't think. Yeah. I don't think it'll happen. But also with Bryce Miller coming back from a blister and then having Michael Gonzalez on the IL and then trading away Chris Flexen. That guy sucks, but they traded him away regardless. Their pitching staff doesn't really look healthy right now, even in the bullpen. So I'm pretty sure they pushed Castillo pretty deep today. Even though they have a rested bullpen, I was looking ahead. They don't have a set starter for game 3 of the series, or they don't have a set starter for the following game. So I think they pushed Kirby and Castillo pretty deep today and tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that if you look in the backup pitcher.
You got one more play?
I got 2 more, I believe.
Wow.
Boston, first 5. So I got it at -120. I believe it's around -140 now on BetMGM, -135 or so. So I like closing CLV, so I can't lose there, obviously, for all the baseball analytic nerds. But
all the people that live in their basement like me.
Yeah. I mean, you got a nice looking basement, so I'll give you that.
Thank you.
But it's the Cubs also caught my eye today as potentially one to back them. The more I look into the matchup, Kyle Hendricks has not been good against lefties, and if the Boston has anything in the lineup, it's just a fuck ton of lefties that hit really well. I love their matchup today. Also, the total caught my eye as well at 9.5 with these 2 starting pitchers. Looked into it. Of course, there's wind blowing out. Anytime that phrase is mentioned around Wrigley, people just fucking blindly bet the over. But when I saw it, is we have Hendricks and Bayo, I still don't know. Two heavy ground ball pitchers. So I really like the way Bayo matches up with his ground ball percentage against righties. And the Cubs, I believe, only have 1 lefty in the lineup today. And I really like his xFIP against righties this year. I think he performs pretty well. And I don't like Hendricks' matchup against the lefties of Boston today.
Yeah, I was going to bet the under 9.5 in this game. And I was like, oh, what am I walking into? Like,
yeah,
kind of same thing for Brewers Reds. I was like, oh, I want to bet the under 10, 9.5. I'm like, are they just? It's like the first day back, and they're like, let's get people some wins here.
Yeah, at first day back, people want to bet the over. It's summer, it's also hotter months. Hitting conditions are definitely improved from the colder months. Balls are going to carry. But Wrigley Bayo has like a 57% ground ball rate against righties, if not more against just purely righties. And the Cubs don't match up well against him. So if it goes over, I think you have to like the Boston bats, in my opinion. But I want to isolate I don't want to touch the Boston bullpen. It's been good, but I want to isolate Hendricks essentially versus the Bayo matchup, and they're better splits. So I'm taking first 5.
Okay. Pick number 4.
This is interesting, isn't it? Do you read that out for me, Peter?
Los Angeles Angels to score first.
Not technically that.
Wait,
it's over 0.5 runs in the first inning. It's not -0.5. It may have been written wrong. So over half a run in the first inning specifically.
Okay, so just the Angels to score a run in the first inning.
Not money line, not spread, not anything. So to score a run in the first inning. Yeah. So if we remember, I remember because I'm a idiot Angels fan. JP France, he pitched against the Angels early June. He pitched a no-hitter for 5+ innings. And now all of a sudden, those numbers stay true. And we have Ohtani on the other side. And the opener of the total was at 8. It's now at 8.5, juice to the over. I think the Angels kind of tee off on JP France today. That regression that we always talk about in baseball, the regression that hit a 1 Cal Quantrill this year that we expected last year, I think that hits JP France today. And the matchup, the Angels lineup is just bull piss right now. And still, with that being said, with Ohtani on the mound, with JP France pitching 7 innings, 1 earned run last start, it went from 8 opener, which is still odd, to 8.5 with an awful Angels bullpen, awful Angels lineup. I think we hit JP France early and often. That's a really cheeky play. And also, I know Jovan found some unique lines as well. So I like that his analysis matched up with what I was saying, is that he expects the Angels to score first, and he expects them to score early. I'm just going to isolate it with Ohtani on the bump and the best part of the lineup of that shit lineup in the first inning.
Okay.
Very unique play, I know. But I have a unit on it. I have a real unit and real money on my own, on my book. But it's pretty cheeky, but I don't think anyone's betting this.
I don't think they are either. I hope it hits. That would be electric.
I hope it hits too, brother. I got actual physical money.
Wait, so just to clear up the bet for anybody listening, let's say the So the Angels are at home. Let's say the Astros score in the top of the first, then the Angels score. So it's 1-1. Would you lose?
It's not a money line bet. It's not a spread bet. It's just a bet on their offense. It's like a total team bet.
Score a run in the first inning.
It's a total team bet of 1 inning in the first inning. That's all it is. Doesn't matter if they lose if they get scored, if they allow 20 runs in the first inning. Doesn't matter if they score in a wild pitch. None of it matters. They just got to score 1-1.
So basically what you're saying is Angels take a 7-0 lead starting in the second inning.
Starting in the first inning, it carries to the second inning.
But I'm just saying.
From my bet, that's what's going to happen, yes.
I'm just kidding. I like it. I mean, I don't know. Sounded good.
Yeah, I mean, it's plus 190, so it is. You have to have some nuts on it, or just be an idiot like I am. Okay. So I like the value there, man. For these bets, I really see like the Astros bats. Again, it's against Ohtani, but I get it. But it's still the Astros lineup. They're at plus 250 over half a run in the first inning on BetMGM. Okay. So, and after the Angels lineup is really bad today, of course, I have touched on that already. With no Mike Trout, all the injuries we have. And the total moving up, and it's only at plus 190. That really catches my eye. It really does.
Hey, why not us? Appreciate you, my friend. We'll get on only 1 unit on now, but hey, I don't know if the plays are going to hit, but I like the energy.
Fuck Phil Nevin.
All right, see ya. We're off to a hot start. Let's bring on Ollie 1 unit. Ollie 1 unit. I called you the most underrated capper, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. Not to say that you're like not rated. It's kind of like I called Jose Ramirez still the most underrated hitter in baseball, but he's commonly known as one of the better hitters in baseball. But I think we should start putting him in like top 5, top 10 categories. That's how I view you. Everybody already knows you're good, but I want people to start putting you up in the categories of like, follow him on Twitter. We got to start tailing. You're killing it.
Well, I'm kind of like Justin Upton. When I'm hot, I'm hot. And some may say
you have a better comp than that.
Well,
you're like playoff Stanton, only good in the playoffs when the water's hot.
Is Just Baseball paying that salary
for Stanton?
To me. If I'm saying I want the salary.
Yeah, $35 million. You want it?
Yeah, I'll take 35. I don't care.
All right, get into your plays.
Okay, I think I only have 2 today, and they're simple, just a couple totals. They've been good to me for the past month or two when I've been kind of just honing in. This is Aaron Savali is good fan club. Previously, Aaron Savali is trash. Send him to AA fan club. Has turned a new leaf, and this guy's been really good this year. His curveball looks really good, so I think he's going to go out there and shut down that Guardians team who just flat out can't hit still. They definitely hit better against righties. They do their thing better, but I like this game to go under. I'm sorry, Aaron Savali's going to not shut down the Guardians. Had that backwards, but you know what I mean. He's going to do his job against the Rangers, the potent offensive Rangers. And then on the flip side, John Gray, I think, is going to put up a decent, solid start. I'm a John Gray guy. Every time any guy has any type of solid stuff that leaves Colorado, I automatically just have faith that they're going to be good wherever they go, like the rest of their career, really regardless of what the data has given me, because I'm stubborn. So I like those two guys to have pretty solid starts here. And then, you have a healthy, rested Guardians bullpen, which should shut down the Rangers late game.
So the CLV sniffers are pissed because right now this is at plus 100 at 8.5.
Why are they pissed? That's a better number.
I know, but CLV didn't get closing line value based on the people in the basement, including myself.
I didn't, but if you want to bet it now, you have a better number.
That's a good point. Do you still like it? Still
Of
right?
course. 8.5. Yeah, I like it more. A better number.
Play number 2.
Yeah, I know you're on this simple to me. Good hitting environment out there in Baltimore today, and that doesn't happen often these days out in Baltimore. I feel like we've gotten really crappy weather out there lately.
It's always raining.
On top of that, Sandy just doesn't miss bats, and Dean Kramer stinks. The only thing that I am a little concerned about is that the Orioles win this game like 6-2, and they bring in Cano and Batista in the eighth, in the eighth and ninth inning or something like that. But I think that the Marlins are going to get more than 2 off Kramer anyways, so that's why I felt comfortable at the 8.5, even though I missed out on the 8.
I went through this when I was pitching it too. Cano threw 24 pitches in the All-Star game, and Batista threw 28.
Wild.
There's a chance that they just be like, yeah, we'll just give you guys another day off here and use the rest of the arms. If they do pitch, they don't have that classic, like, for example, the Mariners bullpen, right? Pretty well rested for today. Orioles, their 2 best, the 2 All-Stars, were used more than any other pitch. Like, if I'm the manager of the Orioles, I'm pissed. Like, what?
Fuming.
You used my 2 best for the most?
In an exhibition game that we lost with 25 pitches, give me a break.
And Bautista was the one that gave it up to Elias. Yeah, everyone had that ticket, right? You had Elias Diaz home run.
Oh, I actually had MVP.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That's an even good point. Like, the Orioles bullpen still got some guys that got some stuff, but it's good. Definitely like, as far as 1-2, that's where you're concerned about or looking at capping for the most part with the Orioles bullpen, or those guys are going to be ready to rock. And I would not be shocked with that pitch count with them. Just say, hey, take today off. Hey, take tomorrow off too. We'll see you on Monday or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised. But on the flip side, also wouldn't be surprised to see them coming in a close game if it's 3-2 or something like that. Which, if it's 3-2 in the 8th inning, chalk it anyways. But I don't think it will be. I think we get runs kind of the second, third time through the order type of thing. First 5 will be sweaty, probably go under, and then we'll get a lot of runs there. And 5, 6, and 7 is kind of what I'm hoping for, that second, third time through after these guys. I've seen Sandy once or twice through, and then they go out there and they put the ball in the gaps and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for.
Sounds good to me, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon. 2 plays, 2 winners, 2 totals.
That's the idea.
Not a baby. Talk to you, my friend.
All right, see ya.
Nick, is it cool if Jake come on? He's traveling from South Dakota. We'll make Jake Hazen quick. Jake, we'll get you in and out here. Oh, what's up, brother?
Hello?
No more beard.
Can you see
me? No more
me?
beard. Yes, we can.
Dude, I'm lagging so bad. I'm currently in the middle of just like random buttfuck South Dakota right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Let's just get to the plays.
Okay, I can't hear you, as long as you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Play. I think I submitted 3 plays. There we go. That's about to bring it up. So Erod, like I said, I don't have anything pulled up right now. I've been driving all day, but I just think his matchup's not in a good spot today. His pitch mix matched up really well against his Mariners offense, and on top of that as well, Mariners see lefties a lot better, and Luis Castillo is a guy who I think he can pitch really well today. I can see him giving up 2 runs in the first 5. But honestly, I don't think I'm even going to need him to. I think this Mariners offense blows up today, and they can make this total by themselves.
Okay. Play number 2.
Phillies. So I talked about this earlier when I texted you. Christopher Sanchez is a guy who's going to allow a lot of ground balls. And granted, he's a lefty, and the Padres have been good against lefties all season, ranking top 10 WRC+. But my main concern against that is that he's a heavy ground ball pitcher, and he's a heavy ground ball pitcher because of his sinker. Padres last 2 months, since May 1st they ranked bottom 5 against sinkers. So, and there's nothing about this, like these studs and top of these Padres lineup. They love just hitting balls into the dirt at 100 miles per hour. That's what they love to do. So I think that Christopher Sanchez can play into that pretty heavily today. And, I think Yu Darvish can get hit up to the point. And Phillies bullpen, don't talk about it, second in xFIP last month. So I'm going to roll with them. Padres bullpen, I'm pretty sure it's bottom 20 in that same time span. So I'm with a better bullpen. I wouldn't say necessarily the better pitcher, but Sanchez has been a better pitcher this year, and he also matches up better. And Yu Darvish, I mean, I don't know how you can find a matchup for that guy. You think that was like 9 pitches. So you kind of just got to hope the Phillies can score maybe 4 runs today.
Fair enough. Play number 3.
Orioles. So Dean Kramer, it's kind of tough to make a pitch on why I'm betting on Dean Kramer, right? It's kind of tough. But the Marlins, he's a fastball. I forgot his other secondary pitch, but they don't see those 2 pitches very well since May 1st sample size I'm going off of. And they're against a righty they're league average against. But I think the Orioles match up, and they have a bullpen advantage today. I believe their matchup against Sandy Alcantara with 7 lefties is just going to be such an overmatching matchup for them that they can win this game just through an absolute offensive explosion.
Any Orioles? Did you have a lean on the total? Because Ollie and I are both on this over. Did you like the over or under? What were you thinking?
Dude, honestly, I kind of lean the under. I think we get just what the fuck Dean Kramer masterclass today.
Could happen. We'll see.
I'm not going to lie. Also, Adames, I'm on his home run as well.
I like that. Plus 650. Let's get it.
He's kind of back, dude. Also, the freaking beard, Peter, this is not on purpose, dude. I was trimming it, and I screwed up the trim job, so I had to go all the way shaven. It's pretty upsetting.
It looks good, though.
Hopefully,
all right.
Hope it doesn't revolve in a reverse sweep today.
Don't mean to kick you off. Just got to get Nick on. But again, thanks for coming through. 3 picks, 3 winners.
We're good. Adios.
Peace, man. Okay, we got Capwise Nick coming on. Mustache and all. How's the weather out there in Colorado? I know people like the under in Coors Field. People are on this. People are on that.
Gorgeous. Got the window open. It's like 82.
Oh, I thought you said there was like bad weather there.
No, there's bad traffic in Colorado today because Taylor Swift is in town.
Oh, okay.
But
that makes sense.
But that's about it. No, it like could not possibly be more.
Shout out Some Slight for the sub. I didn't even see that till right now. Thanks, homie. Nick, get back to it.
Yeah. So staying away from the Coors game, but so I guess I have one play. I had a play in the Rays Royals game, but that got rained out. So bring me to Wrigley.
Okay.
I'm on the under in the Red Sox and Cubs game. I know you were kind of talking about potentially firing that up. And I have a lot of the same reasoning on this as Matt had, talking about why he likes the Red Sox. I like the matchup for Bayo a lot today. So worth noting, Cubs actually have not 1, but 6 guys who are going to be batting left-handed today. 4 lefties and 2 switch hitters in the starting lineup. And Bayo is worse against lefties. But Bayo's just been really, really, really solid. He's been good. There's just like something midway through the season that clicked. He found his control. He found his stuff. Bayo looks really good. Potentially some worries about the Red Sox bullpen because they're not the best pen for sure. But coming off the All-Star break, they should be rested. And Bayo just eats innings. He's gone 7, 7, 7, 7, and 6.2 last 5 starts. So not going to see a whole lot of pen there. Also, wind blowing out, and like Matt said, big time ground ball pitcher. So if we see home runs, they'll be still infrequent and hopefully some solo shots. And then kind of the same deal with Hendricks. Hendricks looks like he's kind of back. I mean, I know he's been kind of off for the last couple of years, but pitching like 2019 Kyle Hendricks. So I trust him enough, and I trust the Cubs pen maybe a little bit more than I trust Hendricks to limit some runs here.
Yeah, my one worry with this one is why is it so high? And I guess you could attribute
I
that
think
to
it's
the wind.
It's the wind.
It's the wind. So maybe it's just one of those, like, everyone's on the over, a wind over, and then it ends up actually going under. We got some ground ball guys. I don't know. It just kind of sketched me out too much to play, but I definitely lean the under. Like, I mean, you just look at both these two starting pitchers and you look at some lackluster offenses. I mean, the Red Sox offense can be good. The Cubs offense can be good, but more often than not, they're not.
Yeah, they're both just kind of mid.
Yeah, they're both just kind of middle of the pack. It's an interesting play. It might just be the right play. I might have overthought this one.
Yeah, and I think I don't know where it opened on MGM, but I know this was at 9.5.
It was at 9.5 and came down. Yeah.
So I'm fine grabbing the 9 at plus 100.
Yeah.
But I guess there is some movement down on this number also.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, my friend.
We will see.
All right.
That's all I got today.
One play, one winner. And
Hopefully.
what was the Royals pick, by the way?
Oh, we had the Rays by 3.
Ooh, so
just a little system play, which honestly I'm kind of happy that I don't have to pitch.
Yeah. I had Alec Marsh over 4.5 Ks. So
yeah, I like Marsh a lot.
It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I bet the ML for him in that game against the Twins. I pitched that on the show, and of course the Royals offense did absolutely nothing against Pablo Lopez. But Marsh looked good.
All right, we'll see, my friend. One pick, one winner.
Yep,
Keep
let's
killing
get
it, my friend. We'll talk to you. All right.
All right, see ya.
Producer Cone, we don't have arm, right? Oh, he should be here. Okay. Quick question, Pete. Do you think Morton deals? Kinda. Like, I think that curveball is going to give the White Sox fits. What do you mean by deals? You looking to take like his over Ks? What are we looking at there? Also, I want to put it out there, which is making me nervous. Marlins Orioles over has just crashed down, which is normally a bad sign. Crashed down. Right now, we're looking at just 8s across the board. I'm still playing it. Obviously, I have it at 8. So if you haven't bet it yet, you can get the best number at 8. My model hasn't changed, but I just want to put that out there. It has crashed. Not ideal. I don't know why. My numbers still love the over. Lineups haven't changed. Just came in a second ago. Probably some big group just came in because I saw that it went to 9 because I'm tracking these lines and now it's going back up to 8 or 8.5. We have some smart groups clashing on this total. I saw it go all the way down to 8. Now it's creeping back up to 8.5. No, I'm talking Orioles Marlins. I don't know what's going on in that game. Just wanted to put it out there. We got Arm Layton on. We got our Arm Layton down there in Florida in his own room. What's going on, my friend?
What's good? What's good? I'm glad I was able to get these picks in at the buzzer here. I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. It's Friday. Let's send the people into some weekend with some winners.
Yeah. You know I'm gonna. I feel good about this first one when I back the Red Sox.
Huh.
So I'm going Red Sox money line here. One unit.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like betting on the Red Sox. I got a lot of futures against the Red Sox and, futures against dear friends that I would love to dunk on. But that's going to have to take a break today because Brian Bayo has been otherworldly. But it's more than just that. I think that this Cubs offense kind of limped into the All-Star break. I really think the Cubs are going to have a tough second half. But also, Kyle Hendricks, I think, has been throwing pretty well, which is why the price isn't like minus 150. But this is an environment where the ball is going to fly a little bit, and I think that adversely affects Kyle Hendricks more than it affects Brian Bayo, who gets a lot of ground balls and plenty of whiff. Better lineup is the Red Sox right now, especially with Dansby banged up. A better pitcher is the Red Sox right now, with Brian Bayo. And you could say home road, but I honestly think pitching in a place where the ball flies, like I said, hurts Hendricks more than it hurts Bayo. So that's a benefit as well. So for me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I'm surprised it's not closer to minus 150. But I don't know if you can add anything to that, Peter. I was surprised by this line.
Pretty sketchy line. That's why I kind of stayed away. So what we have seen is that there has been a little bit of steam towards the Red Sox. I've seen a lot of people, people I respect in the betting community get the Cubs at plus 110. Now it's at plus 115. So it's going against them and it's going towards you. The total weirded me out. Really high total. Again, it's probably due to the wind, right? A 9 total for Bayo Hendricks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't 9.5 crash out. This game is just so weird to me, and I couldn't make a bet on it because I agree with you. Maybe that means the Cubs win this game because, like, when there's a weird line and it seems too good to be true, we might be dealing with the dog at home. The issue is there's no real baseball reasoning for the Cubs.
No.
Is it one of those just freak ones where the Cubs just win? I don't know. I don't got to lean even for you. For me, it's a definite stay away. But with the way you broke it down, like, how can I not lean the Red Sox with you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a little bit of. I mean, I was thinking maybe home road, but like the Red Sox are fine away from Fenway. They're 22 and 21. So yeah, I'm not really sure why it would why the line would look like that. But again, like, could just be one of those. But it is a little sketchy, I will say. But this is just one of those where I'm watching Brian Bayo pitch and I'm like, I don't know if they know anything. I don't know, but I'm just gonna watch this guy shove again. And the Red Sox have been playing great ball of late too, so I feel pretty good about it.
Phenomenal. What about Padres ML?
Yeah, let's go Padres money line here at minus 105. This is one that I feel weird back in the Padres. It's one of those teams that I just don't love betting on. I don't think I've picked them very often, on this stream. But this is another one where it's just like pitching advantage is pretty clear here. And I've been waiting for the Christopher Sanchez regression, and I think it's coming. Like, he's been holding down the fort, I guess, for them as someone that's kind of filled into that last spot in the rotation. But I just kind of feel like it's going to come crashing down a little bit here. The Padres have been slightly better against lefties this year. I think Darvish is obviously just head and shoulders above Sanchez. And this is me just kind of backing the better starting pitcher and another line that I just don't totally understand completely, especially with the Padres being a little bit better against left-handed pitching.
Another line that I looked into this one.
I think Darvish's last 3 starts may be part of it.
Wouldn't you say, though, that the only advantage the Padres have in this game is Darvish over Sanchez? Right? Phillies probably have the better bullpen and probably the better offense, and they're at home. Maybe that's why it's not that weird, the line. But I feel like you're putting a lot of stock into road Darvish, who, remember last playoffs where he got destroyed? A lot of that, I think, was Rhys Hoskins, who's obviously not in the lineup now. I guess that was my concern. I'll be honest with you, I almost played the Phillies today. But the thing is, I backed off a little bit just because I was like, I would play the Phillies as dogs. Like, if they were like plus 110, that would be actionable for me at minus 105 or minus whatever it is. Minus. I didn't love it as much, but I'd probably lean the Phillies in this one just because it's like you're only really betting on Darvish as the that's the main thing.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And honestly, like, this is one where I maybe could have went first 5 because I do feel like this is a game where Sanchez kind of gets his awakening here. He's given up a home run in each of the last 3 starts, a lot of hard hit baseballs that just have gone right at people. And I think this is going to be one where he gets beat up, but I could also see it being one of those where I'm all excited. Padres get out to a lead, and then Darvish kind of gives it back up on the road. I just think this is one of those where a little bit extra rest, kind of trying to shake a little bit of a bad stretch here. I think this is a good one for Darvish to snap out of it. But really, I think the offense is going to get to Christopher Sanchez pretty early. And if you get to that Phillies bullpen in the middle innings, they usually struggle to bridge the gap. So this is me just kind of fading Sanchez here. But yeah, it's definitely against the grain pick, I would say.
For sure. Let's you got 3 more.
No,
I got one more. Oh, Cohen's holding up the rails.
3 more. I'm ripping
5
picks. 5 picks. No, this last one I actually feel really good about too.
Mm-hmm.
I've under on the Reds Brewers game, and I don't know if this was one that you looked at, but 10 runs.
Definitely.
10 runs is a lot, and I think part of the reason why the total is high is the Reds just saw Corbin Burns, but like I don't really care because you know what you're getting from Corbin Burns. It's not really about that. It's just whether he executes his pitches or not. But also, I think it's high because you have Great American Ballpark, you have Graham Ashcraft on the bump, but Ashcraft has looked really good of late. And Ashcraft's kind of a reverse splits guy. Brewers struggle against lefties, and I would argue that a lot of what Ashcraft does is kind of like what you're going to see from a left-handed pitcher with the way his action is on his pitches. And I could see the Brewers really struggling with him, but the last couple starts have looked really, really good. I think he's going to keep the ball in the yard. And Burns, like, while he has not been Corbin Burns, he doesn't blow up often. And I don't think he's going to blow up. And really, when you look at 10 runs, I just think that's way too many with a Graham Ashcraft who looks like he found it again. And a Corbin Burns that, still churning out quality starts. He's been more than fine in both his starts against the Reds this year. And, I just don't see how 10 runs are going up on the board here.
It was so funny. I was looking at the under too, because I was like, oh, it's too many runs. Then I was like, why do I like the under? I like it because it burns. So I bet the Brewers through the first 5 on the money line. Now, I mean, Graham Ashcraft could throw the shutout and Burns gives up 3 or 4. I lose and you win the under. But I was looking at the same thing, and I was like, I feel like the only way this doesn't hit is if Ashcraft has one of those classic 10-run outings like he did last time against the Brewers. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I like the under because I have a lot of faith in Corbin Burns. I'll just bet on Corbin Burns. That's how I went about it. But you also got 2 rested bullpens off the break. Devin Williams was, of course, used in the All-Star game, if I remember correctly. I know Alexis Diaz was. I assume they'll be fine, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost think it kind of keeps them fresh. Usually they have those like scheduled games where sometimes a good reliever will come in a blowout just to get him throwing. It's one of those things you almost won't want him off too long. But yeah, I think with Ashcraft, that start against the Brewers, to me, that was kind of like rock bottom for him. I don't think it was about the matchup. I think it was more about.
I don't think he's going to give up 10 earned runs again.
Yeah, I don't think it was the Brewers that like were the team that was like, oh, we figured out Graham Ashcraft.
But he's like always struggled mightily against the Brewers. He had a 6.75 ERA against them last year and then got blown up again this year in his lone start.
That's a good point. So we'll see how it goes. But
yeah,
I think that this is a different Ashcraft. And again, like if he can just keep them to 4 runs through 5 innings, like we're on a good track here. So that when I kind of put it that way to myself, I'm like, okay, I feel like Ashcraft can do that at least. And we'll see. But I have a lot of confidence in Burns being able to keep this Reds lineup in check a little bit. And just 10's too high. If it was 9, I probably would have stayed away. But 10, I had to take that.
Fair enough. I like the under too. I lean towards the under. So like people, like I said, if you don't like the Brewers, if you're like, I don't want to lay juice, I don't want to do any of that, stick with the under because I do think that Burns pitches really well. I like his matchup a lot. He's dominated the Reds in the past. And then if you are a believer in Ashcraft, I think I'm a believer in Ashcraft against specific teams. Against teams like the Brewers, I feel like, what are they good at? Like they're good against sinker cutter guys.
Yeah.
Like Ashcraft's cutter slider has never performed well, but I like the bullpens in this matchup. So like, let's say Ashcraft, let's say it's 4-2 after 5. Brewers have a wood. You might not see that many runs moving forward in this game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what makes me feel the best about it is like, I don't need anything good. I honestly don't even need anything like mediocre. I just need something not terrible from Graham Ashcraft, and I feel really good. Last one before I leave for you. It's a question, not a pick.
Yeah.
What's your lean on this? I heard you talking about it when I first joined. This Marlins-O's game is a tough one.
I bet the over.
You bet the over?
I bet the over. Kramer, Sandy. It was so funny. So basically all day, this thing was moving to 9. Then just probably 5 minutes ago, crashed back down 8. Now I'm seeing it go back up to 8.5. So basically what that tells me is a sharp group bought in really heavy at 9 on the under. But then once they did that and crashed down the line, other smart people are now going back in on 8. So might land on 8 or 9 based on what they're betting. Again, anything could happen in baseball. But the way I broke it down is Sandy on the road against a team that's going to stack lefties in a hot Camden Yards. And Dean Kramer's one redeeming quality, he doesn't walk anybody, right?
Yeah.
He's aggressive within the zone. Marlins don't walk and they hit the ball hard. So I think they'll have success against him. And when the Marlins bring in like the Tanner Scotts of the world, the AJ Pucks, Orioles are just going to platoon righties against those guys. I think they can score off them. But at the same time, like Bautista, Cano, they threw a ton of pitches in the All-Star game. They may not pitch, and if they do, maybe they're not a full go. I assume they will be, but I'm not that worried. To get to them, it would have to be probably a low-scoring game. So if they do come in, we'd probably lose it anyway. So I took the over at 8. That was basically my play.
I just put a half unit on that. You sold me, but yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I think this is a really big test for Sandy.
What was your lean?
I was very, very unsure on that one. That's why I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Because like, it's a tough read. If anything, I'd lean towards the over because I think it's gotten to the point now where it's gone cyclical again, and people are kind of betting on Sandy to bounce back. Oh, it's in a pitcher friendly park, this and that. But it's not really the long ball that consistently gets Sandy. It's just honestly just a lot of hard hit baseballs, and that's what the Orioles do. Like they're going to string together hits with the best of them. That's I think a terrible matchup for him. Like I think you laid it out with the lefties and the platoon, and I think this is a really tough matchup for Sandy. And then also the Marlins back end of the bullpen is come down to earth a little bit. Tanner Scott has been good, but they may try to use him a little bit more in save opportunities. But Skip Schumacher said not yet. And you have AJ Puck, who's really struggled of late. I could see even if the Marlins are winning and the over hasn't hit yet, like there might be a backdoor cover there just because of how much AJ Puck has struggled. Like even in his saves, he's given up a run. Yeah. So it's been a little rough for the bullpen. Nardi's out. They need a lot of innings from Sandy, and if they don't get it, like I also could see them kind of keeping him in, even if he gives up 3 runs, like he pitches through 6 or 7, gives up a 4th. That's usually how he's been getting beat. It's like they try to stretch him out, and then he gives up a couple in the 7th, and then all of a sudden it's 4 runs. So I like the over. I think at the very least you're pushing at 8.
Yeah, I think so too. I really like. I mean, key number of 8 is very key. Like even a 5-3 win. Let's say one of the team's bats doesn't really get going. I just need one team to really have a good offensive day, and I think we're in the clear.
Yep, I like it, man.
We'll see, my friend. Good talking to you again.
Dude.
Enjoy Florida.
Always.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you soon.
We got 3 questions quick. Yeah, I already answered that one. Like, I think he gets his strikeouts. I do. K or hits a lot under. I would lean towards the Ks. Actually, there's a square on Prize Picks that's Kopech and Morton over 10.5 Ks. I almost thought about playing that, but I was like, just give me the reason. I really like Kopech over Ks. What do you think about Mets money line? I've heard a lot of Mets money line, not a lot of Dodgers money line. I don't know if people are out sharping themselves. Game's pretty damn close. I would probably lean the over, to be completely honest with you. The Dodgers can hit anybody. Like, let's not get that mistaken. They can hit anybody. But Verlander did have that extended rest, and Julio he looked better against the Pirates, but he didn't look great. I like the over. I like the over in Mets Dodgers. Do I like Orioles or Marlins? So what I said is my price target for the Marlins would be plus 130. Orioles, like, I'm not laying juice with the Orioles. Like, no way. I think it's going to be a close game. Like, I think personally it's going to be a 4-4 game, like going in late. And that's why I think the over hits. I don't know who's going to win. I'd rather just play the total. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't know. Let me see something here. Okay. Yeah. I would just play the over. Man, this line is jumping up and down. I don't know about this total anymore. I mean, I still like it, but somebody might know something. I like the Marlins as dogs. I do. I mean, maybe I'm just tailing Sandy again, but we'll see. We'll end up seeing. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out. All right. Decent stream, right? We didn't have a ton of people come on, but I had some fun. Hopefully you did too. We'll be back on Monday for more picks. And thank you guys again for listening. Do we want to raid anybody? Also, if you could drop the Pikkit link in chat, producer Cohen, make sure to download the Pikkit Sports app. Use code Peter when you sync your sports book. WStream, thank you, my friends. Remember, click that link. It's a free app. Download it. Use code Peter. We're going to be doing giveaways on Pikkit soon. Yeah, you want to raid Ref That Bets? WStream, like always. Appreciate you, everybody. Let's get some wins out here. Why not us? I got to say, people, I'm nervous about this weird as fuck line movement in Marlins Orioles, but it's so funny. I'm looking on sharper books, and we got minus 115 towards the over, but then on BetMGM, it just crashed down to now it's up to minus 110. I don't know what's happening. I do not know what's happening with that over. I still love it, but it's what can you do? Line watching is just going to give you anxiety. So I'm turning this off. I'm ready to watch some baseball and enjoy. Hopefully you guys are too. Ref That Bets. Let's rate them. Again, guys, love y'all. See you on the other side. Sharps at war in Baltimore. Sharps are at war, ladies and gentlemen. Let's win some. All right? Not gambling advice. Love y'all.